Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. So I've recently got back from a 3-day hiking and wild camping trip to the Peak District, and this is all the gear that I used. I'll show you everything I took, what gear worked, and what I'd change for the next trip. So straight off the bat, I've got no idea what this lot weighs. I don't bother about weighing my pack anymore. I'm conscious of using lightweight gear, but some things I'm not prepared to compromise on, so comfort is one of those things. So I'll start with what's on the outside of the pack. This is my Goal Zero Nomad 10-watt solar panel. This worked great, to be honest. I was only using it to charge up my iPhone and the power bank, but it went from 50% on the power bank to 100% in about 9 miles worth of walking. Bear in mind, when it's cloudy, you're not going to get that much power through it. Something that I would take again for multi-day trips, but not for an overnighter. Underneath that, I've got my Thermarest Z-Lite sit pad. I was going to bring some of the thin 3mm foam, but I couldn't find it. And then we've got some Rab gloves, which I never used these. It was just in case I got cold hands, but we clipped on there. Yeah, but next time I don't think I'd bother bringing these, unless I knew it was going to be really cold conditions. So in the side pocket, I've got my B3 water filter. That is the colour of the water that we were filtering. There's a lot of peat in the water in the Peak District, so you really do need some kind of filter. So the filter worked really well for me, but Andy had a few problems with his clogging up. But mine's brand new and he's had his about 12 months. So we've got a 1 litre Nalgene bottle. And then we've got my bioethanol for my stove. And on the front strap, I carried I think it's 500 millilitre, 600 millilitre smart water bottle. And clipped on there, we had my Garmin InReach mini communicator. So I didn't need to use this, but there are lots of areas where you can't get a signal in the Peak District. So this was like my insurance policy. Got my tent pegs in here. However, in parts of the trip, they actually went inside the bag. Hip belt pockets. So in here I've got a bug net, which I didn't need. We've got the lighting as well, so my Olight H1R Nova. Had that years now and I really like it. Painkillers, ibuprofen, a little light for filming with, and then I had another spare Olight torch. Oh, and there's a little mini tripod in there. All of those got used, apart from the head net. So on the other side, we've got sun cream, which I forgot to put on, so I got a little bit burnt on my neck. That is like a cream that cyclists use to stop chafing. Got some Vaseline, so some of that went in areas to stop chafing, and I put that on my feet as well to protect them. Helps prevent blisters. And then I took my bit battered Swiss Army knife as well. Next time I'll remember to put sun cream on. This little side pocket, I did put my tripod in here. I'm using it to film. I've got a deodorant. That's it. And on the other side, got some hand sanitizer. So this stretchy pocket here is huge, and I use this depending on what I add on, clothing wise and things like that. But when I set off, I had a battery pack. This is waterproof, so it's a Goal Zero Venture 35. I think it is expensive for a power bank, but I was impressed with it, and I do like that it's waterproof. I had my main waterproof jacket. So this is Outdoor Research Helium 2, I think it is. Again, I was very impressed with this. Packs down to next to nothing. Basically keeps the rain out. Got another jacket in here. So this is my Rab, I think it's called a Summit. This is really warm. It's got a micro fleece in there. Pertex Quantum Air, so it's very breathable as well. I'm wearing this jacket all the time now. And like a lot of items you'll see, I stored it in an IKEA, not Ziploc, but it's like a Ziploc bag. It keeps all your gear dry, but also if you seal it up almost to the end, you can squash all of the air out of it. You can even suck the rest of the air out. So it makes it like it's been vacuum packed. Frees up a bit more space for storage. The last couple of things on the outside. So we've got some toilet paper. We've got my spongy wipe cloth. And a Juice of Spades trowel. You never know when you need to dig a hole. Let's move on to what's on the inside. By the way, I wore this Paramo, I think it's like a wind shirt, and Montane Terra pants, so these are really quick drying, so if there was a very light shower I wouldn't bother with my waterproofs. Which reminds me, on this pack there's a little pocket under here as well. And that's where I kept my Berghaus waterproof trousers. I think next time, although these did a really good job and I needed them, I could do with something a little bit more packable and lighter weight than this. Right, top of the pack, got my shelter. So this is the Terra Nova Laser Photon 1. So this is just the outer fly, and it compresses incredibly small. And that only weighs a few hundred grams, about 400 grams I think. And I kept the outer separate from the inner, so I always had somewhere dry to sleep. Kept the inner separate. I just used an old Thermarest bag for it. Holes separate. And I also brought the ground sheet. So I'll quickly get this set up and show you why I had everything separate. So before we check out the rest of the kit, quick thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. So one of my favourite Squarespace features has got to be the app. We can use it to check out orders and keep track of stock levels. We can check the analytics to see how my website's performing. You can even use the app to make changes to your web page. So you don't have to be tied to a computer all the time to run a website. However, the desktop version of Squarespace is really easy to use, and you can set up a website in literally a couple of hours. So if you want to have a go at setting up a website of your own, whether it be for starting a new business or running a blog, head over to squarespace.com/Paul Messner or click the link in the description below. You'll get a totally free trial and 10% off your first purchase. So that's the tent fly set up with just the ground sheet. And this allowed me to get out of the elements, get out of wet clothes, wipe the ground sheet down, and just have that little bit of extra space. And then when I came to sleep, I put the inner in and then set up my bed. I'm not going to put the inner in now, but you get the picture. So next up in the bag, I've got my first aid kit. Not a massive first aid kit, but a few things like repair kits, tick removers, space blanket, plasters, and of course some painkillers. Also near the top of the bag I kept my stove in case I wanted a quick brew. Went for an alcohol stove. All I really needed to do was boil water because I used dehydrated meals. Had a couple of spare lighters and I kept a coffee on top for quick access. So this bit of kit worked really well, and I definitely used this alcohol stove again for multi-day hikes. We've got a Thermarest air pump dry sack, nothing in it. This was back up to my pump, and I also used it, it was a bit of a carpet area if the ground was wet. Not essential, but I did use it to keep things dry. Some little washlets, that was part of my daily wash routine. All things like used wipes, empty food containers and stuff went into an empty one of these bags. So in the main dry sack, got my food bag. So I took 4 of these dehydrated meals. So the fire pot and the adventure foods pack quite a bit thinner than the Summit to Eat ones. So that's something to bear in mind if you need to take a lot of food. 600 calories in that one, 600 calories in that, but that pack's a lot smaller. I took 2 packets of fruit gum, so one went in this bag, one went in my bum bag, which I'll show you in a bit. 4 little chocolate bars, again 2 in here, 2 in the bum bag. Loads of coffees, and a long spoon, and I also took a large bag of salted peanuts, which I haven't got one in here. So I also took some instant porridge for my breakfast. I didn't carry them in these containers though. I just transferred it into a little Ziploc bag and then just poured the water straight into there. These I took home, and then you can wash these out and use them again. So next time I'd definitely take a few more snacks that were high in calories. I don't think I was getting enough energy for the amount of miles I was putting in. That's just my mini air pump for blowing up the mattress. This bag has got all my tools and gadgets and what have you. I'm not going to get every single thing out, but it's a little pair of gloves. I've got a towel, Luco tape, spare spoon, cordage, lighter, some cables for charging, and there was an emergency battery pack, so just in case the solar didn't work for the other one. However, it did keep it going. And then there's a spare GoPro battery as well. On the subject of GoPro, these little furry wind protectors that were stuck on the top, when they got wet they fell off, so I didn't get as much wind protection as I wanted. So next time I think I'll go back to using the foam wind slayer. I've got a few of these, and if it gets wet just squeeze it out, pop it in your pocket, put a spare on. Now we're starting to get into the clothes. So in here I've got a pair of boxer shorts in there, and I've got my mountain equipment, I can't remember the name, trousers. So I only had 2 pairs of trousers, and I never actually wore these. These were enough for the 2 days, and they dry really quickly. So depending on the trip, I don't think I'd take these again. Maybe another pair of the lighter weight Montan ones. Fleece. So this is just a Rab fleece that I've got. Again, one of these bags to vacuum it down a little bit. I didn't use that either. Definitely wouldn't take that next time. No need. Spare t-shirts, boxer shorts and socks. So I had fresh socks and boxers for every day, and 2 spare t-shirts. I didn't think I'd be showing my boxer shorts, but I use these Decathlon running boxers. I find they're good at wicking moisture, and they definitely reduce the chafing. Again with t-shirts, something polyester and moisture wicking. Thermarest. So this is my Neo Air X Lite. This was brilliant. I definitely slept well on it anyway. Down jacket. So this one's from Rab. I did only wear it once though. So I only really needed this and not the fleece. Quilt. This was awesome again. UGQ Outlaw hybrid quilt. Use it as a sleeping bag or a blanket. I just used it as a blanket. Kept me really warm. Last 2 couple of bits. Pillows. Took 2. Both inflatable. Sea to Summit one and the Trekology. I wanted to take me Thermarest soft pillow. However, couldn't fit everything in, and I had to choose between the pillow or the extra fleece, and I went with the extra fleece. In hindsight, I wish I'd have took the pillow in its place. So everything went inside the large Osprey dry bag. More socks in the bottom of there. So that just leaves me 2 bags. So the rucksack I used was the Atom Packs EP50, Mo EP50 I think it's called. I've been using this for the last half a dozen trips maybe. I really do like this pack. Very comfortable, and I don't know how it does it, but this hip bolt really takes all of the weight. The stretchy pockets and the side pockets will give you loads of extra space, and I don't know what the material is, and the way that it's sewn, it's virtually waterproof anyway. However, they do recommend you put some kind of liner in there. And then I took this cheap little bum bag. So in here I just kept things like a small pack of wipes, a couple of snacks, and I put my power bank and phone in and I needed to charge it. Walking poles. So I used Caramore Carbon Trek. That was a regret. I never used them on the first day, and I really felt it. They did make a difference on the second and third day of the trip. But it's made me realise the value of poles, so I'm going to be upgrading to a better set. I haven't spoken about my boots. These did a great job actually. I'm not normally a fan of the Solomon's waterproofing. These are a mid X Ultra Gore-Tex. Really comfortable though, no blisters. Cap, and I took a couple of beanies, but they're still in the wash, so you'll have to take my word on them. But that is pretty much everything laid out. All performed really well. Like I said, didn't need that extra fleece. I think next time I will take a slightly larger shelter. I wanted to take the MLD Duramid, however I've not had a chance to seam seal it properly yet. I might look at getting a different water filter, and the Platypus quick draws caught my eye. You can back flush that, and I don't want to come across Andy's problem where this clogs up. There was nothing that I really missed out on. The pack was really comfortable. The walking poles made a massive difference, so I'm going to spend a little more money and upgrade those. So that was all the kit that I used for my recent 3-day hiking and camping trip. If you've got any questions about any of this gear, leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer it. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.